Hi, welcome back to Growing Up Catholic, Dash's Loving Touch. I'm Elaine. I'm not going to tell a story today, a story with miracles and healings or just of plain interest. But I need to address what I wear in these videos. My sister brought it to my attention that she wondered why I wear my nightgowns as I'm saying, doing the videos. And actually, these aren't nightgowns, they're gowns. I don't sleep in them. Okay, a little bit of the history, and I think I've said this before. Oh, as I'm talking, you might see a little bit of the ring lighting. I just got it, and anyways, it's cheap. It's cheap, and it's constantly showing in my glasses, so I'm sorry. So anyways, as I've said before, I was a charge nurse in nursing homes for 36 years. I went right out of nursing school right into working with the elderly and their relating diseases, a lot of Alzheimer patients and other situations. But anyways, this one day, I was working in a facility that had a part of it was retirement center, the other was nursing home. And anyway, I often did help with patient care and after in between my duties. So I went to get this one patient, well, we called them residents, for supper. And she had fractured her patella, which is her kneecap. And she was doing very well and transferring from bed to wheelchair to toilet. But she always needed somebody with her. So I went to get her to take her to the dining room, and she wanted to go to the bathroom. So the bathroom was very, very small, and I had to go in first and then drag her in the wheelchair near to the toilet, which wasn't that far. And so, locked the wheelchair and positioned it so she could go from there to the toilet. As she was doing that, she just went, I can't do it. And she started to fall. So, without thought, I just immediately caught her. And she was about 145 pounds. And I had to twist my body to grab her and then twist my body again to get her back into the wheelchair. I had taken all her weight on my arms and neck, spine. I felt a little twinge, and I called over to the nursing home area and asked for assistance, because actually in the retirement center you worked alone. Now, the retirement area was supposed to be where people took care of themselves, but often that didn't happen. And some of the residents were in need of care. So I called over to the nursing home. They sent a nurse to help me toilet her and put her back in her wheelchair. And then I brought her to the dining room, and then I went right to my medication room and grabbed some Advil from my purse. There were 200 milligrams, so I just took one and then went back to the dining room to work, where I served patients and did everything you need to do in the dining room. And then after it was finished, I took that same lady back to her room. She was very, the sweetest lady. She never had a bad word for anybody. She was a beautiful Christian. Actually, she often asked me to pray with her at night because I always worked the afternoon shift, and my shift was over at 11 o'clock at night. So I brought her back, and she just wanted to watch TV. So she stayed in her wheelchair. And I didn't want to show it, but I was in a lot of pain. I was having pins and needles in my arm, in my face, my neck, pain in my spine. So I went over to the nursing home side where the registered nurse was the head nurse of the building that night, and I told her about it, and we had to fill out a lot of forms for incident reports and for WSIB, and I'm not even going into WSIB. Never wanted to be in that position to need WSIB, which is workman's compensation. And it was a very horrible, stressful time. But I digress. I get back to the story. So I was feeling all this pain. We filled out all the forms. By the time we were finished filling all the forms and I went back to work, I was having a hard time working. And so the head nurse of the building just said, Elaine, you have to go home. So I called my husband and my daughter, and they both came to get me. My daughter drove my car home, my cute little yellow Focus. And yeah, and my husband drove me home. It was a Sunday night. It was around 8 o'clock at night. So the only care I could get would be to go to emergency, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to sit for hours in that much pain and numbness, and it was all in my face, and well. So the next morning, I did go to a clinic. I was sent to a therapist, chiropractor, and he worked with me for, days and weeks. In the meantime, I think maybe it was a month later. It was about a month before Christmas, and WSIB wanted me to go back to work on modified. So I did, and then another nurse worked with me. So, but everything continued to get worse. I was told by the director of nursing that I should maybe just do Christmas crafts with the residents, which I did, and another nurse took care of the nursing. So I did crafts and did activities like bingo, things that weren't hard on my body. By New Year's Eve, I was in horrible pain. I could not figure it out. I thought, I had the pins and needles, and just things weren't getting better, they were getting worse, to the point where I could hardly walk. So I made it to the end of the shift, and my husband picked me up, and I said, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm in so much pain. So I went to my family doctor, which I had gone to before, and he took me off work. And then I went for more tests, and you know, I finally ended up going to a rheumatologist, and he diagnosed me with the worst form of fibromyalgia he had seen. And really, I just didn't know too much about fibromyalgia. I had heard about it, but that was the reason for this horrible pain, which I am still in. It got worse, and some days are better than others. Really bad, very bad days. I can hardly do anything. Days where I can't even take a shower because the water on my skin is like a piercing, I don't know, knives sticking in me. It's just a horrible feeling. So the reason I wear these gowns is because they're lightweight. I just can't stand anything heavy on my skin. You know, okay, so I don't wear a bra because that digs into my skin. And so these are lightweight. I have other lightweight gowns, so that's why you see me in these gowns. This one says coffee. I haven't had anything with caffeine in it since 1999 when I went into atrial fibrillation of my heart because of caffeine. So I haven't touched chocolate, anything with caffeine in it. Boo-hoo. I've lived with it. It's no big deal. I just ask God, you know, please God, when you bring me home, can I have a river of chocolate? And on my banquet table, can I have a banquet table of all chocolate? I'm sure, I pray to God we are able to eat in heaven. That's just my earthly thing. And then, you know, have all this heavenly chocolate around me and being able to eat it and not gain weight, which is another story. Anyway, so the reason for my gowns, and I hope you can put up with them. It means I don't mean disrespect to you or to our God, but He knows. He knows the pain I'm in. I'm in it 24/7. Like I said, some days are worse than others. So that's the story of why I wear these gowns. I have to put a safety pin in them now because I've lost weight and they've really gotten big. So that's it. As for that ring that you'll see in my eye, in my glasses, that's the new ring light I bought, and I can't seem to position it where it's not showing too much. It's if I lift my face, my head. Anyways, it's a cheap little light, but it does the trick. It just gives me more light on my skin. So as time goes by, we'll see my hair grow and grow and grow. And like all of us, I'm not very good at cutting hair, my own hair. I can't raise my right arm very high. So, and my husband or my daughter, yeah, no, I'm not going to let them cut my hair. So we'll see as time goes by. I am going gray, which I wanted to do because coloring it is very expensive. Anyways, that's it for me and for this story of my gown. And I will be telling another story in the day or two. I just have to get them done before my daughter starts her job again. And And then, you know, she's on my computer and in this room. So anyways, that's it. God bless you. And thank you for watching and listening. I would appreciate it very much if you would subscribe to my channel and like my videos. But do what you want to do. I'm not pushing or pressuring that. So anyways, thank you for all those who are viewing my videos, because I know sometimes the stories are good, but so, you know, I'm trying to get better at, you know, telling them with my, you know, my voice and the inflection, and, you know, not goofing it up. Anyways, the more I do this, the better I will get, I pray. Okay, well, God bless you. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.